a brief guide on how to secure our work and not only work. This session will be recorded. The link will be shared later. There will be up to 3, 4, 5 minutes at the end for questions. And all recommendation mentioned during the session will contain additional information in curved brackets. The number itself referenced the importance of having this recommendation implemented. As you can see, there are two numbers. The left one is related to non-engineer stuff, and the right one for engineering guys. There are 3 possible levels. One is mandatory to have, second, highly recommended, and 3, not obligatory, but it's good if you follow it. And they are also marked in color to better notice their importance. Take a moment to memorize your site. And with that, let's begin. In our daily work, we handle various types of credentials, such as password, token, and SSH keys. The recommendation from NIST and PCI DSS for password shown on the screen if someone interested to see how complex they currently recommended. It is crucial that our passwords are unique for each site and services we use. Whenever possible, use federation authentication, for example, signing in with a Google account for Bitbucket, GitHub, and other services. However, ensure that credentials are not reused across different sites or resources. If one of website you have profile get breached, hackers will have access to all your accounts without requiring too much effort. In case you have the same password everywhere. A lot of credentials have been already leaked. You may check, does your credential leaked in one of many online databases. One of them showed on the screen. And here one first recommendation. All credentials should be stored in Password Manager. In challenging situation where we must generate unique, long, and complex password while storing and using them securely, Password Manager are invaluable. With a Password Manager, you only need to remember and memorize only one master password, as all other passwords are securely stored inside. They can generate, store, autofill, share, and sync password across multiple devices, making use much easier. Second recommendation, related to multi-factor authentication. Attack vectors are constantly evolving, and having a strong password alone is no longer sufficient. It is highly recommended to enable multi-factor authentication wherever possible. Password Manager can simplify this process by generating and storing one-time token for easy use, second method authentication. Additionally, do not overlook the importance of physical tokens, such as YubiKeys, which can significantly enhance security in sensitive environments. Refuse to share your passwords secrets to anyone. This information should only be under your control. Avoid sharing other non-personal secrets wherever this is possible, but if it's needed, please use a more security way, for example, as shown on the screen, with a one-time link, which may easily be generated, for example, with Bitwarden. Other Password Manager also has similar functionality. And final recommendation, do not forget to rotate your credential regularly. What is regularly, I would say, it depends on the type of credential and environment, but 1 or twice per year for password is a good starting point. But in some highly regulated situation and requirement, it might be much shorter. And I like this analogy when passwords are like a toothbrush. So choose a good one, never share, and change it regularly. Let's speak a little bit about our main working devices. So first of all, full decryption, disk encryption is preferable. All data should be encrypted at rest. In case it is impossible, keep encrypted only client data. For example, by using encrypted virtual volumes. This measure will help to protect your and your client's information in case the device is stolen. Lock the screen when leaving your device. Do not leave your workstation working device unlocked without your control. Memorize the shortcut for locking the screen and use it each time you leave a device, no matter where you are, at home or in a public place. By the way, most operation systems are set to activate a password protection screensaver after a defined period of inactivity. Setting this inactivity period as short as possible in order to use this as an additional protection. 3. Keep your working table and space around clean and tidy. No passwords are written on a piece of paper and attached to a screen or left nearby. Next one. Use only the original operation system with the latest patch installed. It is important to keep your device updated regularly. New vulnerabilities constantly appear, and manufacturers do their best to fix them quickly. Our responsibility is not to ignore them and apply them quickly. If your device is too outdated and no longer supported by vendor, think about changing it to a new one. No, do not use any pirate software. Not only are they free, but they also may contain unwanted software inside. These Trojan horses may easily bypass antivirus malware protection and sit on your device for a specific moment. This type of software is sometimes described as grayware rather than malware. Protect your traffic from other not trusted devices in a network where you are working. Consider what the nearest devices are, and it is better to isolate your working traffic from them by using VPN. Usually, the owner of device uses a super user account for their day-to-day work. It is better to create a separate account for yourself and leave the super user account aside. It will segregate permission on your device and give you more visibility when some application requests additional privileges access. All modern operation systems have integrated firewall protection. If you haven't chosen another solution, use the existing firewall. It should be enabled all the time, up and running. 9. Your workstation should be protected with antivirus software also. Standard protection are better than nothing, but it's essential to be aware of evolving new security solutions. Next generation firewalls are continuously growing in popularity and often comes bundled with antivirus, firewall, and other features. This integrated approach provides comprehensive protection and can replace the need for multiple separated security tools. Sometimes sharing a screenshot with coworker is necessary. Before doing so, carefully check what your screenshot contains. Ensure that screenshot doesn't contain any confidential, personal, or sensitive information. If it does, sanitize it by using black box or distortion filter to conceal these details. Continue with recommendation for our small and sometimes not so small additional devices that may help us to do our duty. Once more, encryption at rest must be applied for smartphone, tablets, and similar devices. Complete encryption is preferable to partial. Otherwise, it is recommended not to use this device for work purpose. Do not use a simple PIN as a password for your device. Choose more complex alphanumeric variants. The PIN code is very fast to brute force when it comes to hacking your device. Usually, I see people use complex password for workstation, but at the same time, use a simple PIN when it comes to mobile devices. We take our device everywhere, shops, works, other places, and we want to be online. It is adequate to use a VPN on them also. And be sure your communication stays safe. In addition, turn off the auto join to the Wi-Fi access point. This will prevent your device from automatically connecting to unknown networks. Who knows who's the owner of them? Do not use rooted, this terms linked with for Android devices, or jailbreak it, this one linked to iOS devices. Rooting or jailbreaking mobile devices involves destroying the security measures on the device to gain administrative access to it. This also has the side effect of leaving many security measures permanently disabled. If the user has root permissions, then essentially any management software running on the device is compromised. If the user has applied a custom firmware image, they could have removed the protections that enforce segmentation, and the device can no longer be assumed to run trusted operation system and be safe for working purpose. In a modern world, we'd like to be flexible and ready to work from everywhere, not only from the beach or home. When it comes to work in the public places, almost the same rules are applied. Again, keep your connection safe. A VPN will help secure it. Pay attention when you are on a conference or a specific business event. A bad actor may left access point wins in order to put themselves in the middle of your conversation, intercommunication between devices, and perform man-in-the-middle attack. It is obvious, but worth mentioning, never left your device without your personal attention. Most authentication methods depends on the physical security of the workstation. If a user leaves a workstation unattended while logged on, an attacker can physically gain access to the system. When we are working in a crowded places, we need to unlock or type secrets while working. Pay attention. A threat actor can learn a password or a PIN or other security information by watching how you type it. The attacker may not have to be in close proximity to you. They could use high-powered binoculars or CCTV cameras to directly observe you remotely. Any devices equipped with USB ports should be handled with care. While these ports are useful for charging and connecting external devices, they can be vulnerable to unauthorized access if left unattended. To enhance security, it is advisable to keep USB ports disabled and only enable them when necessary for data transfer. When it comes to charging in the public places, charging stations which are available in malls and airports and other places can be suitable. However, the provided USB cables might be compromised with malicious technology. To protect your device from potential data attack via those cables, use a data blocker. This small USB adapter physically cuts the data wires between ports, allowing only power to pass. Home network is our responsibility, and it may be filled with many insecure, outdated, and non-upgradable IoT devices, such as cameras, sensors, smart TV, and so on. Usually, the network is flat, and all devices may easily and freely communicate with each other. As we know, a flat network topology is not secure. It's better to separate our machine from other devices, for example, by using VLAN. Separation of such devices into an isolated network will provide benefits in the long run. I like this joke that the S letter in IoT abbreviation stands for security. Security is not a top priority when it comes to Internet of Things device, so integrate them into your home network wisely. A couple of things when we are on a stage of closing work with client. So first of all, as preparation, check that all the latest information is uploaded in the client's knowledge base system. Like all documentation are updated, manuals, schemas, and so on. All supported files that you have been using delivered to client storage. This is important preparation before we remove all client-related data. Remove all data on your devices if others not accepted. I'm talking about clone repositories, source code, and erase empty space if it's required by using zeroing or other techniques. Do not forget about backups if you use them. Check that all your credentials access were revoked. Otherwise, ask the responsible person to properly remove your access. Of course, this is responsibility of the client to do this, but not all of them do their job properly and may easily leave your credentials active. If they later become compromised, we will have a problem. Validate that all your credentials are revoked is a good practice. Only then, we can remove all client secrets. Here, the organization secrets in one place by using Vault in Password Manager helps easily remove them in one shot, just removing Vault and everything gone. Artificial intelligence features are now spreading around. Almost all applications are trying to benefit from emerging technology. When you are preparing a request to such system like ChatGPT or other, consider that information you provide may be used to train the system and could later be revealed to someone else. Remove or mask personal identifiable information and do not share clients' proprietary information without client consent. Would you like to attach a useful artificial intelligence assistant to client meeting? Ask your client for agreement and assess how this assistant will use this information gathered from you before connected. By the way, enterprise subscription usually have strict rules. Don't use your request as a source for fine-tuning their models. So let's use it responsibly. Electronic device such USB cable or thumb drives can be intentionally placed on the street, near your office, or even left near your laptop while you are working in a coffee shop. These devices can easily be used as a vector for attack. Here is an example of such cables compared to original one. Simple Apple charge cable, original left, and fake right. Look pretty similar, but inside it's not so simple. It has integrated Wi-Fi access point, hardware keylogger, maybe packed with a payload, and many other features. Even self-destruction is implemented. It's cheap and may be easily used for attack. Do not pick up anything on the street, in a public, or even in your office. If it's not your, left it where it is. Split your private browsing from working. Nowadays, almost all browsers support profiling feature. Create one profile for work only activity and other for personal activity. In this situation, all sensitive information will be separated and isolated. In case your browser doesn't contain such feature, use a separate browser for each activity. Social engineering has shown to be especially effective in manipulating people into actions they wouldn't normally take. This attack often rely on one or more of these following principles: familiarity or liking, consensus, social proof, authority and intimidation, and scarcity and urgency. These techniques can be easily deployed across various information channels, such as email, SMS, and voice. I'd like to highlight the latest two principles as they are often combined together. Here's an example of messages that use authority and urgency together. And to increase their effectiveness, attacker may use open source intelligence or SINT in order to gain additional information about real top managers by making their message more convincing and persuasive. When you see that someone urges you to perform an action right now, ask yourself, do you really know who is on the other end of the line? Phishing attacks have become more sophisticated nowadays. The time when we could easily recognize phishing message by misspellings, errors, or weird information is almost gone. With the help of artificial intelligence, bad guys can easily and effectively create unique and targeted phishing campaign. Here's an example of spear phishing message pretending to be from Human Resources Department. By the way, the message template mentioned was generated with the help of this technology. To bypass spam filter, bad actor may easily use the previously registered domain name, which is common misspelling of the legitimate domain name. Here is an example of possible names that looks like our original. So first, be attentive and check the source of the message. And secondly, be careful with embedded links. It used to believe that social engineering campaigns were limited to only one channel. For example, email, like a phishing, or voice, like a vishing. But nowadays, they easily combine two methods to be more trustworthy. They may easily send you a message and call you to remove any doubts. Before acting, take a moment and think. If something looks weird, it is better to call back and check ownership of the request by using out-of-bound method. A call back to the owner by using another type of communication. Come via email, call back by Slack, and other type. And again, do not use any context provided in the message. If you give a man a fish, he will eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he will spam you for the rest of his life. Scrutinize the details and be attentive. And with that, I've prepared a checklist for you. It contains all recommendations mentioned with ranks, and you can feel free to download it and use it when you need it.